Tinto Berry Jam, Kevlar Armor, and Predatory Pteranodons. Hello fellow survivors and welcome back to Kyle Can't Game, the best place on YouTube for info relating to Ark Survival Ascended's best overhaul mod, Jurassic Awakening. There's a ton of content with these last two updates and we're going to get right into it. Version 51 came out Saturday night and V52 came out about 12 hours later with a lot of bug fixes and some new updates, so let's make sure you're ready for what's new. First off, please, for the love of all that is holy, make sure you're updating your game and mod properly. Doing this every time will mean you don't end up having a corrupted file and could potentially save your playthrough. You want to close the game, reopen the game, install the mod, and then begin playing. Also, as always with Jurassic Awakening updates, you should do a dino wipe to ensure that all the new dinos are spawning in properly and that the changes have taken effect. That said, let's get into the new content pushed through these updates. First, in the form of new Engrams and Engram changes. At level 26, you now unlock a free Engram to extract biotoxin from Titanoboa venom. This will be made in the mortar and pestle, so get out there and get those biotoxin darts for easier taming. Tinto Berry Jam. Now this one means a lot to me personally because it came from one of the suggestions I made on their Discord. Grab Tinto berries, throw them in a cooking pot, and turn it on. This recipe doesn't even require water. Tinto Berry Jam heals herbivores, like eating raw meat can heal carnivores. This is huge with the availability of strong stegos, trikes, and parasaurs in the early gameplay of Jurassic Awakening. The jam stacks up to 200, and the Engram is unlocked at level 15. Kevlar Armor. This is a new armor type that is dropped as a rare chance from Redwood's tarantulas. They reworked saddle level requirements for many of the early game tames. The Raptor saddle moved from level 18 to level 16, the Patchy saddle from 16 to 13, Trike from 21 to 19, and Stego from 26 to 24. So now you can get your ride on with your ride or die a little bit earlier. Moving on to major dino updates. The Redwood's Pteranodon is now a predator. They spawn between the ground and just below the tree line in the Redwoods, and for now they also spawn on Carno Island while that's still placeholder content. And, most importantly, you can now see this information when you are looking at them through a spyglass. Because apparently, the mod authors thought the Redwoods was too safe. The Jungle Megaloceros is now tameable, so all you flinger fans that are big lovers of horny dudes in the wood, get out there and get your thatch gathering master. Now, swamp creatures. Basically, they've reworked a lot of the harder parts of the swamp to make it harder in some ways and easier in some ways, which is a very Jurassic Awakening thing to do. Ancient swamp creatures now have 2 times the chance to drop a saddle-related loot item. It will most likely be a blueprint, but pre-crafted saddles are also a rare drop possibility. To add to this, instead of having to wait for potentially dozens of ancients to spawn in and to kill them all, hoping to get a particular saddle, which was definitely a grind, now all ancients drop special loot that can be used in the crafting of these saddle blueprints. These are items like Carcanos Keratin, Ancient Carcanos Keratin, and Ancient Swamp Scales. They also increase the amount of harvested loot from all ancient swamp creatures overall. Gigas. All variants of Gigas have had the following updates. They now attack continuously if you hold down the attack button, rather than requiring you to spam the button for each attack. I think the authors wanted to save our thumbs a little bit because they knew this mod is so goddamn good that we're going to be addicted to it and we're all going to get carpal tunnel anyway. They also gave a noticeable increase to the melee damage of all variants of Giga, whether wild or tamed. The Desmodus was having an issue where its health was relatively low and its torpor was extremely high, so it was really easy to get it killed in the attempt of taming one. That's now fixed, and you can tame and ride everyone's favorite vampire hellspawn of the sky a little bit easier. And finally, the Tropio. These nasty little bastards got an update as well. The chain bola now works to stop them in their tracks and allow you to shove some kibble up their butts and become friends. I mean, that's how I make all my friends. Moving on to armor and weapon changes. In addition to the new Kevlar armor, there have been some major updates to the Basilisk armor. Now these are definitely late game items, okay, so keep that in mind. But Basilisk scales drop from killing basilisks now, but it is a rare drop. These scales are now a required item in crafting and in repairing Basilisk armor. Basilisk armor is now much more effective at reducing aggro from wild dinos. It's like having cactus broth on your body. It has increased armor rating and durability. It's heavier to wear. It heavily reduces the amount of torpor damage you take while wearing it, and it is much more expensive to craft now. Yeah, that's right, y'all. You want OP gear in Jurassic Awakening? You gotta pay the mother effing piper, okay? All slingshots now deal 25% more torpor damage than they did. So no more accidentally killing a parasaur on the beach when you just wanted to be friends. Get out there and get those early game tames on, baby. Make that early game grind a little bit less of a pain. The obsidian pick now works properly on metal nodes. They now harvest for 20% more materials and also cost more to craft and to repair. Now, resource changes. Big changes to endgame resources here, guys. If you follow my playthrough, you'll know that I am nowhere near endgame, so I don't have experience with these in-game personally, but they seem really impactful to the balancing. So patchy skulls can now be processed into lead ore, and Ankylosaurus bones can be processed directly into lead. The Redwoods tarantula can now drop spider silk and organic polymer. In every version of a jug bug in the game, whether Arctic, Redwoods, Tungsten, or other, can now drop their specific resource upon being killed and harvested rather than just plucking the resource out of its butt. Cryo Dino update. So I'm just going to share these screenshots here because, as you all know, this is a huge issue with Ark Ascended, not just Jurassic Awakening. Luckily, the JA team is working their way through all the dinos, recoding each one individually to fix this. Every update from them for the foreseeable future is probably going to have a list of which dinos they've been able to fix since the last update, and I'll just share it here. Bug fixes and balance updates. Alright y'all, I can't go through every single line here because the video would be 7 hours long, but I'm going to hit the ones that seem most pertinent to me. Please feel free to check out the entire list yourself, okay? The link to the Discord is in the description, but let's rapid fire through a few of these. Large stegos have been fixed and now drop the proper saddle as part of their loot and have the proper sized babies. The drop chance of the saddle went from 15% to 31%. Jungle and swamp theries now eat crops, millet, and redwood berries. River otters now eat piranha, so all fish in-game work for taming them. They also got a 50% boost to insulation when riding on your shoulder, which that's really big. Easy mode now has more and better rare loot, making it almost as good as for loot as normal mode. So basically the only difference between easy and normal now is the rates. So if you want those slightly improved rates without sacrificing quality of loot too much, easy is a viable option. Also, speaking of easy mode, the imprinting rates have been fixed to where now all dinos can be imprinted before they are fully raised. Dimorph spawns have been decreased to allow for a greater variety of creatures. And the Saber-Tooth King's roar has been greatly increased in duration, and also how far away it will pull wild dinos to help it from. Man, that is a lot of stuff to put out all at once, and it all sounds really good and a lot of fun to me, and I can't wait to check it out in-game in my actual playthrough. But in this video, I couldn't cover every single item, so please make sure you check out the patch notes. There are certain things like bug fixes where I'm not going to go through every single line item because not every player experiences them. But if you have experienced bugs, please definitely check the patch notes every time there's an update because it's possible or likely that they fixed your problem. And most importantly, if you come across some weird behavior, some weird spawn, some weird mesh activity, if you come across anything weird, other than me, please report it to the dev team on their Discord. They are incredibly responsive and generally very fast to fix these things, but they can't fix something they don't know about. Alright, and that's going to do it for today's update. I hope you all found some use out of this video, and if you did, I would certainly appreciate you hitting that subscribe button or liking the video. It all helps boost me in the algorithm, so hopefully we can get more people to download and play this fantastic mod. If you want to see Jurassic Awakening playthroughs in action, make sure you check out my playlists for it. The next video to come out, we're just about to start prepping for some swamp content, so it's going to be a doozy here real soon. As always, thank you to the creators of Jurassic Awakening for making something that I love so much and providing it to me for free. And thank you to you for watching this video. I hope you all have a great day, and we'll see you in the next one.